Your thoughts can travel faster than a race car. Now let me explain. The reason why I say this is because our brain communicates with our body through nerve impulses, which can travel at speeds up to 350 miles per hour, which is about 500. Is it 500? It is 500, which is about 563 kilometers an hour, which is insane. Now, to put that into perspective, many race cars cap out at around 230 miles per hour. So it just shows us how fast we can think, how fast we can come up with solutions, come up with ways to be better, to get better. Some race cars can travel faster than 350 miles per hour, and that's incredibly fast. But when you even think of 350 miles per hour, or even less, a car that's going 100 miles per hour, a car that's going, or something that is going 200 miles per hour, when you see that in person, it makes you realize the quickness of a car, the quickness of an asteroid, the quickness of an animal, maybe a cheetah, and our brains can do that. I don't know how it works, but I would just say like microscopic, is that the right word? But our brains can literally do that when it comes to information. In a way, your body is built for high levels of performance. Our body is like a supercomputer. It can do a lot of things. It has the capacity to go through the trials and tribulations, to handle stress, to get through pressure. It can also solve complex problems and endure challenges. So quite literally, our brain is a supercomputer. So if you're out there, maybe you think that you're not capable to do the things that you want to do in life. Maybe you see other people achieving the goals and dreams that you want to go after yourself, and you see other people doing incredible things. For myself, I used to be like that when I was younger. In middle school and even some parts of high school, I used to think that I wasn't the person that I wanted to be, or that I could never become the person I wanted to be. I thought that certain people were just selected or just born into different environments that can then help them. And because I wasn't, then that made me feel some type of way, as if I wasn't able to do that. And what I've realized the more that I have grown up, I've realized that it's just about how we see the things that we go through and how I use the things that I already have, how I use my brain, how I use my mind, how I use my body physically, maybe by doing physical things, by doing actual work to help me get to the places where I want to be. So I know for a lot of people, it might not seem like we have the tools, but through time, I've realized that we do have the tools. And as I already said, we have the same things that the people that are successful also have. They've got a brain, they've got a body that functions perfectly fine. And we also have that as well. There's a quote that I absolutely love. The quote is, "What you know is limited and what you don't know is limitless." And that quote has always stuck with me because it shows that there's so much more information for us out in the world, and that there's never going to be too much information for us to have. We're always going to be learning, we're always going to be understanding, realizing things. So it got me thinking, well, maybe it's not about the potential, maybe it's not about our potential, because it seems like we have the potential. It seems like we already have everything. We already have the tools. We already have the resources, even if it feels like we don't. But what if it's about how we see certain things? What if it's about how we see the failures? What if it's about how we see the things that we go through? How we even see life? How we see the goals? The perspectives? On the topic of race cars, when race cars, or when fast cars in general, sports cars, hypercars, when they're on a track, they're using everything they possibly can to get to the finish line. The driver is using every part of the car. So then that makes me think, why don't I use everything that I have right now to excel and do well, or to try even? I think the most important part on anything is that if we just give things a try. You might think you're not good at something, or you might think you don't have the potential, but how do you know if you don't try? Trying is the thing that's going to bring the confidence. Trying is the thing that's going to let you know all the answers. Let you know not really what you should stop doing, but what you should continue doing to build up those skills, to help you get to the places where you want to be. So life is just a learning, it's a game of learning. And within this game of life, there's opportunities for learning everywhere. Maybe looking for something that you need to improve on, a bit like a mechanic. They know the car is able to handle high levels of performance, a bit like us, but it also knows that there's areas for improvement. So they work on the car, they do things to improve. We are our own mechanics, if you think about it. We know what works for us and what doesn't. A bit like what a mechanic knows what works for a car and what doesn't. When you put heavy loads, heavy weight on a car, is going to make it go slower. And it's a bit like us if you think about it. Maybe more in like thinking about negative things, it's just going to weigh us down essentially. So I believe it's about doing the things that work for us, finding area for improvements, and working on ourselves. So I hope that this video could help you in any type of way. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you could please like this video, subscribe down below, and if you know anyone that may benefit from watching this, then I would very much appreciate it if you could please share this video to them. Thank you so much, and I will see everyone in the next one.